G'day everyone, welcome to That Other Show. I hope you're all sitting back in your comfy lounge chairs sporting a glass of fine Scotch whiskey, because you know I am. There's nothing I love more than to sip on my drink of choice while I take in the sweet aroma of rich mahogany and many, many leather-bound books that I have in awe of my presence. You know, because I'm kind of a big deal. Cue the music. This is episode 12 of That Other Show. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of March 2019, but you're not listening to this show until the Thursday following. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is a sense of a losing battle, but confidence that the war rages on. During this show, I'll be talking about the following: saving Sonic and Sally, The Division 2, Generation Zero, Trials Rising, and that other description. Let's get started. Okay, so the first on the agenda is the whole saving Sonic and Sally saga, which began, well, essentially with a man named Brian, commonly known on the internets and YouTube specifically as Since Spacies, because he has been gaming since Spacies. He's an ex-Sega hotline employee, and he's absolutely worth following, subscribing to, and liking all these damn videos on YouTube, because he puts out some really good content. So go and check him out. There is a link in the description down below to go and do so. So this saga began when Brian, or Since Spacies, was informed of a Sonic and Sally statue that were previously from Sega World in Sydney, which has unfortunately been closed down many, many years ago. Now these statues, they were a photo opportunity set of statues that were out the front of Sega World. They unfortunately have made their way out to a junkyard in Western Sydney. Since Spacies has endeavoured to rescue these statues, however, he was met with some resistance. The owners of the junkyard, for unknown reasons, have denied selling them to him, saying that they're not for sale. Now, I've taken this on board and I thought, look, you know what, I've got some sort of home ground advantage because these statues are only 10-15 minutes down the road from me, so I can make attempts at saving these statues with a little bit more relative ease. So I tried that. I've attempted that. There's a little bit more information in a video that I've put together on the Aussie Gamers Experience YouTube channel, so go and check that one out. But essentially the story is told that I have attempted phase 1 of my plan, and I went to the junkyard and I spoke with the one of the owners there, and I found her to be quite pleasant. They were really nice people. We had a chat for a while. I didn't have a lot of time, but that was part of my plan, to not spend too much time there, but just get a little bit of information. And that information I got was that the statues belong to the male owner of the junkyard, whom I haven't spoken to as yet, and he has stated that those statues are not for sale. And I was also told that one other person had inquired about these Sonic statues. I wasn't told who that was, but I can only assume that that was Since Spacies, because he's the only person I know of that has attempted to buy them. They told me that this person, which may or even may not be Spacies, offered $5,000 to take these statues, and they declined. Simply put, I said to them, look, if the offers are $5,000, it's too rich for my skin, but I've got more plans. The lady there was telling me that it's her husband's property, and if she sold them from under his nose, she would be killed by him. And we definitely don't want a homicide on our hands trying to save these statues, although I'll come close. So, after having a little bit of a chat, I snapped a couple of pictures, nothing that we haven't already seen on Spacies videos, and I left. Oh, I forgot a couple of, one other detail, that this other person apparently started crying when they were denied buying these statues, which leads me to believe it may well be Spacies that was being referred to, because I know he's very passionate about getting this done. And without him asking, I feel I've been dragged into this as well, because I love Sonic, I love Sega, and I love all that it stands for, its history. I never got to actually go to Sega World, so it's a missed opportunity. I feel like saving these statues will fill that void that I missed out on when I was younger of actually going to Sega World. So anyway, as the story stands at the moment, Spacies has been denied. I have also been denied. However, as I said at the start of the show, it's a battle that's been lost, but the war rages on. That was Phase 1, and Phase 1 unsuccessful to its full extent. However, I did get some information that will lead me into Phase 2 of my Save Sonic and Sally campaign. The finer details of Phase 2 I haven't completely worked out just yet, and I'm hoping I might be able to work with Spacies for Phase 2. Phase 3 will be all-out warfare and will be the last attempt. So we're still halfway, well, we're not halfway through just yet, but there is still hope, I believe. I think that pretty well covers the Sonic and Sally statue story up until now. So that's the latest update. I'll be giving further updates, so obviously as Phase 2 starts to take shape, and also when we try to execute as well. All right, so any questions on that? Then give us give us a comment wherever you're listening to this, or send us an email, or go to the Aussie Gamers Experience Discord channel, or on Spacies videos, anywhere that you know that one of us will get it. Send us your questions and we'll see what we can do. Even suggestions too, that'd be great. All right, let's move on to the next portion of the show, which is The Division 2. Good old whiskey. Actually, that's bullshit. I'm recording this at midday. It's cordial. All right. So, The Division 2 has now been released for some people. For those that decided to spend the exorbitant amount of money for the super duper special edition. I think it was the Dark Zone edition. Well, they can be playing it now. That is, of course, if you're not Snoogs and a certain EB Games didn't screw up your order and delivery and the poor bastard hasn't got it yet. Mate, understandably you are annoyed with that, because there's a lot of opportunities missed, such as streaming, reviewing, etc. But anyway, the reason why I'm talking about it on this show is that I want to ask the question, kind of like an open letter, if you will, to Ubisoft. Why would I buy The Division 2? And I want to be clear as well in saying that I'm not being a hater right now. I don't think The Division 2 sucks or it's rubbish or anything like that. I've played the beta and I thought that it was quite good. But the question I want to ask, it also bleeds into other Ubisoft titles. Why would I buy The Division 2? And why would I continue to buy the Assassin's Creed games? Now, there's a lot of people that would disagree with me here, but bear with me. The Division 2 is exactly the same game as The Division 1. Now, I do go on record quite a few times saying that's not necessarily a bad thing, because The Division 1 was a great game. So why change? Fair enough. Don't fix anything that isn't broken. That old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, sort of thing. But why would I buy it if I just liked it? Now, I wasn't somebody who put thousands of hours into The Division 1, but I definitely completed it. I think I got the Platinum Trophy on the PS4 as well. And I really, really had a good time. I thought it was a brilliant game. But when The Division 2 comes out, am I getting another experience? Or am I really just doing the same thing with maybe an extension to the actual storyline, finding out more about what happened with different people? Why am I buying this game? I don't see the value in replaying this thing. The same goes with the Assassin's Creed series. I feel like it's the same game over and over and over again, and Ubisoft have slightly learned a lesson with that, where they don't release them every year now, rather every other year. But I still find that when the new one comes out, that it feels just samey. Well, the Assassin's Creed, there's a little bit more to it, because I don't even feel like it's Assassin's Creed anymore, because there aren't even any Assassins with how far back they've gone. It should just be called Creed now, or some sort of offshoot to the AC games. But look, I'm really disappointed with Ubisoft. Going back just a short number of years, I would have said that Ubisoft was my favourite developer or publisher, depending, well, they usually are developers as well, with games like Splinter Cell, The Division, what's that other game that I like? Ghost Recon Wildlands. Wonderful games. But then when they follow them up with sequels, it's very samey. These games are games of a service. They last for a long time. It's a long time between iterations. I'd expect a little bit more of a leap and a bound when the next ones come out. But don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not bashing these games. I think they are very, very good games, but just not enough for somebody who just wants to enjoy them for what they are without spending hundreds and thousands of hours in these games. Why? Why would I buy The Division 2? I guess I wouldn't. Anyway, all right, well, let's move on to the next one. All right, so this one I'm talking about is a game called Generation Zero. And this is a game that just popped up in my YouTube feed for whatever reason. Well, it's gaming related. I guess that's why it's popped up. And I just pressed play on it. And it was a 45-minute Let's Play of an early access beta that was given to a YouTuber to do some videos on. And I don't normally watch Let's Plays. I'd rather be playing the game myself. I'm not really into them. But I watched a couple of minutes of this video. A couple of minutes turned into 10 minutes. 10 minutes turned into 20, 30, 45 minutes. I watched the entire thing. And it's worth noting that this was at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to go to bed, but I couldn't because I was really enjoying this Let's Play. Now, Generation Zero is an open world survival game with some unique features, which is reminiscent of a game called Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if there's a coincidence there that they both have the word zero in their title, because Generation Zero, the bad guys in this one are actually machine creatures. So they're robots. There's dog-like ones, there's two-legged mech-style machines, and there's like big Ed.012s from, if anybody's across the RoboCop movies, there's some amazing stuff there. There's also good mechanics involved where you can shoot off pieces of armor to make them more vulnerable, and also depending on how you take them down, depends on what you can scavenge from them to increase your arsenal. You can pick up ammo from them, you can upgrade weapons using parts from these machines, and the graphics look absolutely amazing. Granted, I was watching the Let's Play from a PC playthrough. So anyway, I did some digging into this game, and apparently it's out in a couple of weeks. It's like the 26th of March that it comes out, so it's not very far away. And I also made the incorrect assumption that this was going to be a PC game. I thought, all right, I'm going to grab this on PC. I don't care. It's about $60. I will get it. But then the decision was made even harder when I found out it's also coming to Xbox One and PS4. Makes it a little bit harder because I've got friends that may get it on console, but I'd really, really prefer to be playing it on a PC because of, obviously cool graphics and 60 frames and etc, etc. It's a bloody good game. I've made a video about it. It's getting some good views, got some good traction. Head across to the Aussie Gamers Experience YouTube channel and check it out. I'll put a link in the description to the Generation Zero video that I've made. And check it out. Oh, a little bit off topic, but I've got a video. Oh no, I mentioned it, didn't I, for Sonic and Sally? I think I did. Anyway, moving on. That is Generation Zero. Go and check it out. You might like it. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so now I am talking about Trials Rising. That released last week and I decided to pick it up. Might have been the week before. I was a little bit late in grabbing it. The reason why I was sort of a little bit delayed on getting it is because I was playing things like Anthem and was distracted. And I wasn't a fan of the beta that I played of Trials Rising, where the map was like all over the place instead of being linear. But now that I've played Trials Rising, it really is essentially Trials, which is a good thing. It is fun to play. The tracks are amazing. They have really upped the ante. Now, this is a good thing about Ubisoft, because this is another Ubisoft title. I am absolutely impressed with how they've upped the ante on the maps. There was one map where I'm like, you know what? This is some dead set Uncharted bullshit going on right here. There was a section where I was riding. There's a track where you are riding within the confines of an aeroplane that, I don't know, might be crashing. So there's sections where you lose gravity, which assists with portions of the track. There's a part where you jump out of the back of the plane onto some debris that has fallen out of the plane. Oh, amazing. Trials Rising is going really well. I love it. I'm doing some live streams. I've done some live streams, and I will likely do some more of the really difficult tracks that I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Trials Rising. That's a bloody good iteration of the Trials game. It has come a long way from the old, what are they called? Like the web browser versions of it. Anyway, let's move on to that other description. Okay, so finally leading up to the last part of the show, that other description. Here is a game where I'm going to read out a description of a game, omitting crucial details, and you have to work out what the game is. And if you know it, post it on our Discord. There's a link in the show notes to join up with us. Alright, so here we go. The player controls a character across a white background representing a mountainside. The object of the game is to go down an endless slope to avoid the obstacles. The game includes 3 modes: Slalom, Freestyle, and Tree Slalom. In Slalom, players move between 2 sets of flags that are red and blue while trying to get the best time. In Freestyle, players make their way downhill while racking up points by doing tricks. Tree Slalom adds obstacles to the slalom run: trees, stumps, and dogs. When the player heads past 2,000 meters or 6,600 feet, the special monster appears and starts to chase the player, eating them if it catches them. If it catches them, when it catches them, more like it. So there you go. That is that other description. Make sure you go onto our Discord and let us know if you think you know what that game is. Be a hero. Okay, so that is the end of this episode of That Other Show. So if there isn't enough content in this show, then you need to go and check out the Aussie Gamers Experience video game podcast, which is hosted by Stoogs, Rem, and Greggio. So check out the links in the description, down below, up above, left or right, wherever it is. You can also just search for the Aussie Gamers Experience on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and a ton more. Don't forget to give us a review. Please do that. There's a link in the description. Alright, well that's it. Thank you very much. Until next time, I am Lucas, and I will see ya.